Telcoin is making waves in the cryptocurrency industry. Telcoin is building the foundation for digital assets to exist and thrive while meeting regulations, and so this is one of the altcoins that I am the most bullish on. Now, we do have an event coming up December 5th that I think is going to have a major impact on the price of Telcoin, and so that's something I'm going to be talking about in this video. If you are bullish on Telcoin, go ahead and hit that like button. If you want to stay up to date on Telcoin information, make sure to hit the subscribe button. And so let's go ahead and jump right into the video. Now on this channel, I am always looking ahead to provide the most information as possible to make an educated decision. I want to be ahead of everyone else before the majority is starting to talk about it. And so I've always been talking about Telcoin. I've been making previous videos talking about this accumulation phase here for Telcoin, as this is a great opportunity to continue to stack more and more Telcoin. Now we saw this massive spike up all the way to 6 cents during the LB649 bill that was being discussed about 3 years ago. And so I do believe that we are going to surpass that, right? We have a huge event coming up that I personally think is much bigger than the LB649 bill. And so we can see this has pulled back, great opportunity, and now we are starting to move back up. And so definitely something to be paying attention to. If you're interested in buying Telcoin, you can download the Telcoin wallet here. It's very simple to use. This is the best place to buy Telcoin. Now, if you're interested in staking your Telcoin, you have to have a referral link, and I will post that underneath the video if you're interested. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the news here. We have a hearing coming up for Telcoin to become the first digital asset depository charter. Right, this will be the first digital asset bank to exist in the United States. Now, I think this is massive news, and I think that Telcoin is severely undervalued, right? I mean, this is currently only at a $400 million market cap. This is very small for what they're trying to accomplish. And so this is going to be taking place on Thursday, December 5th at 9 a.m. And so, why is this so substantial? Right? I mean, this is going to be the first bank ever to exist for digital assets, and this is the hearing for that. Now, a final decision is going to be made 90 days after that. Now, it could be sooner, but the latest will be March 5th. And so I want to talk about why this is so substantial. Now, if you're not familiar with Telcoin, maybe you're new in looking into Telcoin. Back in 2021, a bill was introduced by Senator Mike Flood. This is LB649, to adopt the Nebraska Financial Innovation Act. Now, Telcoin was working very closely with Senator Mike Flood to develop the Nebraska Financial Innovation Act. So this was passed here by the governor on May 25th, 2021. And so that's when we saw that massive spike up here on the chart, right? The LB649 bill. And so we had that massive move here to adopt the Financial Innovation Act in Nebraska, and that was introduced by Senator Mike Flood. And so why is that so big here? We have Donald Trump here that is endorsing Congressman Mike Flood, saying that he's an incredible advocate for the wonderful people of Nebraska's first congressional district. And so this is definitely something to be paying attention to, right? We have Donald Trump endorsing Senator Mike Flood. Senator Mike Flood is working very closely with Telcoin, and I'm going to be sharing a video here that just shows how closely Donald Trump and Mike Flood are working together to pass a bill for digital assets. Now, that digital asset bill is definitely going to include Telcoin, right? I mean, Telcoin has been working very hard to make sure that they meet the regulations in compliance for stablecoins moving forward. And so let's go ahead and take a look at that video here.
I know you've been working on digital assets a lot, and you see major change coming. Walk us through how that plays out. What do you expect?
Well, we are going to unlock innovation in America again. This has been very frustrating under Joe Biden and Gary Gensler at the SEC, who has gone out with this power that he thinks he has to do these unreasonable enforcement actions and try and guide an industry into the ground. Today, you know, the headline is Donald Trump wants to make America a leader in digital assets. If you think of it this way, back in 1995, America unleashed the power of the internet, Web 1.0. We are on the dawn of Web 3.0, and we are riding in the back seat with countries like the UAE and the European Union and Singapore dictating to the rest of the world how we're going to treat digital assets. This is America's issue. This is something that we need to do to make sure that the U.S. dollar remains the world's reserve currency.
Yeah.
And with the announcements you're talking about, we're going the right direction.
So tell me about that. How do you keep the dollar as the world's reserve currency while also creating a backdrop for growth in digital assets? What's the plan?
Well, two different approaches. One is stablecoins. And on the Financial Services Committee, we have, thanks to Chairman McHenry and Congressman French Hill and so many other hardworking members, we've put together an entire stablecoin regime. Now, remember, a stablecoin is backed by $1 in a U.S. bank. One stablecoin equals $1. It allows emerging economies in continents like Africa to trade essentially in U.S. dollars using a stablecoin regime that is backed by, American banks. That's what we're excited about in Congress. This isn't about replacing the U.S. dollar. It's about strengthening its power and then simply creating a market structure where regulators can say, okay, Bitcoin is a commodity. It's going to be regulated by the CFTC. This asset over here is a security, and it would fall under the domain of the Securities and Exchange Commission. We're not talking about building a fancy mansion. We're talking about building a foundation on which digital assets can exist and thrive and unlock that innovation in America that has been really offshored.
And so that was Senator Mike Flood there, talking about the role that digital assets will play, right? I mean, they are working on regulation and compliance for crypto assets. And so I believe that the LB 649 bill was the start of that. And then we're going to have the hearing for Telcoin on December 5th. And so the price of Telcoin is most likely going to continue to increase up to the hearing. Now, after the hearing, we may see a sell the news event, right? We're not going to have a decision made on December 5th. And so it could pull back. Right, and now that may be a good opportunity to accumulate more Telcoin. However, I think leading into Q1 of 2025, we're going to see a massive move for Telcoin as we start seeing innovation taking place in the United States for crypto assets. And so it's definitely something to be paying attention to. And so in addition to that, we also have a community update here that was just released. And so they mentioned that they received notice from the Nebraska Department of Banking and Finance that their application was deemed complete. And so we saw that news a couple of months ago. And so as I mentioned, Mike Flood drafted the Nebraska Financial Innovation Act in 2021, and Telcoin is proud to be the first company to get to this point. This is now on the verge of becoming the first true crypto bank in the US and the first regulated bank issuer of stablecoins, what they're going to be calling digital cash in the world. And so, this is definitely something to be paying attention to, right? Digital cash will become the backbone for future Telcoin remittances and aims to disrupt the $160 billion stablecoin market. And so, Telcoin Bank will become the first bank explicitly authorized to connect customers to DeFi and offer crypto staking services, bringing the world of DeFi into a legitimate regulated space. And so, the next step is going to be the hearing on December 5th. And so, they hope to have a decision made in the charter by early February. And so let's go ahead and take a look at this other information here. We had Paul participate in a panel discussion and spoke about many different things. Their company's ambitious goal to become the first bank issuer of stablecoins and what that means for future of payments in crypto banking in the United States. And so I'd like to touch on this here, right? In addition to Paul's panel, an ETF panel containing representatives from 4 major Bitcoin ETF providers, we're talking BlackRock, Grayscale, Fidelity, Bitwise, revealed that 3 of them are using the same custodian, centralized crypto exchange Coinbase. That discussion made it clear that a digital bank custodian regulated by the Nebraska Department of Banking and Finance would be a welcome addition to the market. Right? I mean, so we have BlackRock, Grayscale, Fidelity, and Bitwise all aware of what Telcoin is doing. Right? I mean, we could possibly see them start utilizing the Telcoin services. And so that's something that would be massive. Imagine if we start getting news that BlackRock or even Grayscale or Fidelity start utilizing Telcoin. And so that would drive the price of Telcoin up significantly. Now, if you enjoyed this video, do me a favor and hit the like button and subscribe for future videos. And I hope to see you on the next one.